The following program is sponsored by the Today's Home Remodeler television network.
Welcome to Today's Home Remodeler. I'm Stuart Keith, and on today's show, well, we're learning more about the Wisconsin Regional Training Partnership Big Step. We'll begin by meeting with Earl Buford, who will explain how they're helping young adults find skilled jobs and a career in the trades. Next, we'll head to the Edgewater Hotel project and meet up with Steve Brightlow from Plumber 75 to learn how this project is working with the WRTP Big Step training program. And finally, we'll finish up with Bob Caston from the Hammes Company to see how the construction is going at Madison's most famous hotel. So we have a lot to cover today, and we'll get started right after these messages. One of the challenges for many young adults looking for a job or a career path is to have the right skills for the type of work they're looking for. In many cases, the education or training received doesn't seem to match the jobs that are currently available. Fortunately, there is a place that you can go for a little help with this challenge. It's called the WRTP Big Step Training Program. So let's begin today's show with Earl Buford to learn more about it. Oh, Earl, this is a beautiful historic building. I always find it interesting, the old architecture. It's just beautiful to me.
Well, we're lucky to be here. We've been here since 2006, and it's given us a space that we need to really operate at a scalable level.
Sure, and here, of course, is the center of excellence. And this location happens to be in Milwaukee, and it's home of the Wisconsin Regional Training Partnership Big Step. Now, that's quite a mouthful, but let's walk through exactly what that is and what you mean to our communities.
Well, really, we're a collaboration of nonprofits that focus on workforce and making the workforce more economic development friendly. We have a reverse model. We focus on sectors of the economy, work statewide. Really, our job is to start with the industry side first, find where the jobs and careers are, and then focus backwards with our partners in the community and the workforce system to find eligible applicants to fill the needs.
And what's unique about that, at least the way I understand it, it's almost a reverse model, historically speaking. I mean, you think about it, there's always the push to train workers and then hope that they can go out and find a job.
Right.
You guys are working closely with the manufacturing sector, as you said, the building trades, the utilities, establishing openings or determining what those openings are, and then it's up to you guys to go find actual workers for that.
It just makes sense to us to start where the jobs are. There's a ton of people that want to go to work, so why don't we help make it easier for industry to find those people and find people that want to go to work?
Yeah, it makes total sense, and as I understand it, the word's getting out there because this is becoming a huge success.
Correct. As a matter of fact, the Wisconsin Regional Training Partnership means that we're a statewide organization based in Milwaukee, and we're starting to really develop other parts of the state with our industry partners, including Madison.
Well, as I understand it, it's a huge success, and it keeps on growing. So let's take this opportunity to walk through your facility and learn more about the program.
Great, come on along. Here's one of our training rooms here.
Oh, so it's really just like what you'd expect, a classroom setting.
Correct.
Okay, so if I am looking for employment, I want to go through your organization. How do I find out about it? How are you finding students?
Well, referrals come in a number of ways. One, the trades themselves. Trades employers will refer candidates who don't qualify for their crafts or for their company. And so they'll send them over here. The other way is friends and family referrals and walk-ins. I'd say over half our referrals come that way. So friends and family, the industries themselves, and then we also do orientation sessions to the community at large.
Just general information sessions?
General information sessions.
And so if I'm a student here, what am I going to learn? What are you going to help me with here?
Well, since you're preparing for an exam for that craft, we have a few things we go over. For instance, there's basic math and algebra. There's spatial relations, mechanical relations. There's reading comprehension and language arts. So those are some of the basics that employers are looking for at a certain competent level.
Okay, and so if I'm a student, I come in here, I kind of get assessed Is that fair to say?
Yep.
And see what level I'm at, what specific skills I need some work on, and then you guys are going to help me with that.
So the first day you walk in here, we do an assessment to kind of gauge the level, academic level where you're at and assessment level, and then kind of work from there, depending on which pathway you're going. So if you're going to a construction craft, there's a certain level you need to attain. But the point is, we assess you up front. We know where to start with you and how long it's going to take for you to become competent for that profession.
Sure. And so once you determine what my specific needs are, then I join the other students. How many could be in here?
There's a 4-to-1 student-to-instructor ratio.
That's a great ratio.
Right. But the beauty of it is we're open all day for this program. I think we started at 8 a.m. and it goes to 8 p.m. at night. So it's flexible around work hours too.
Oh, that's awesome. You're really catering to the needs out there and really giving an honest effort to try to get these people who need jobs get the jobs. And again, I love that you're working with the employers because you know specifically what their needs are.
Absolutely.
And then you're going to train them specifically to get there, or at least to get into a specific trade, because what we're talking about here is you're helping them pass the entrance exam to the apprenticeship.
Yep, and become eligible candidates for those apprenticeship.
So you really customize it for each individual. It almost guarantees success for them. I like that.
The success rate for anyone who goes through this process is about 80%. All these trades and all these industries have said, we really want to reach out and find qualified applicants who are ready to go to work and ready to develop careers. And so we're that facilitator to help that happen.
That's the practical side we're talking about here. Books, computers. What about hands-on? Do you do any of that?
Absolutely. We're developing pre-employment certificate programs. So there's a hands-on component, which I'll show you. So down here's where the hands-on training happens. So we have a mock-up house here. We also use this lower level. It's about 8,000 square feet, where we're able to facilitate a variety of training programs.
Yeah, this is really amazing. You pull up to the building, you don't think it's this large, but there's ample opportunity to learn about all the different trades. And along those lines, how specific do you get with your training?
So there's really two types of training. Earlier we talked about the academic or aptitude training. And then there's also the pre-employment training or certificate programs we've developed with the trades and with employers, which gets very specific.
Okay, and although you're getting very specific, you're not trying to substitute this training for the apprenticeship that's out there in the building trades.
No, as a matter of fact, all of the 41 different curriculums we have for pre-employment were developed by the trades or industry.
So you're working hand in hand with them. So this is a huge benefit for them as well.
Right, as a matter of fact, it's the ladder into their programs.
Well, that's why I love having you on today's show, because all of us drive by our infrastructure projects and just seeing and learning who's involved with your organization, now they have a better appreciation, at least I hope they do when they look over and they understand the importance when we say, hey, let's build Wisconsin. This is what we're talking about. I mean, it's not only the buildings themselves, but it's the people behind the scenes making it all happen.
And what it takes to work on those projects. Another project I want to mention is the Edgewater in Madison, and working really hard on that historic hotel.
Stay tuned. We'll be heading to the Edgewater Hotel project to see how the WRTP Big Step training program is working with both the building trades and the developer next. In our last segment, we learned about the Wisconsin Regional Training Partnership Big Step program and how they can help young adults with training and opportunity. Now let's head to the Edgewater Hotel and meet up with Steve Brightlow from the Building Trades to hear how the Big Step training program is working with the developer and contractors on this construction project. Well, Steve, it's finally upon us, the Edgewater Hotel project, and what an undertaking. I bet you're happy to see it under construction.
Yeah, it's almost surreal after all the years of working on getting this project approved to see it really coming out of the ground, up 13 floors, and just so you can really see it taking shape. It's going to be a tremendous project.
And just looking around, even at this stage, there's a lot of different trades involved.
Yeah, there's various trades here now. There's plumbers, electricians, most of the basic trades are here, from iron workers, cement finishers, operators. Many of the trades are engaging as the concrete floors get poured. Once those get done, more and more mechanicals and numbers of employees doing the mechanical fill in.
And you know, as I look over there, that's obviously brand new, but I know you and I have talked, they're actually blending it with the older buildings as well. It's got to be challenging for all the trades.
Yeah, it's a fairly unique challenge to have this much of an undertaking of you know, two tremendous projects in their own, but they're all combined with one with another project from a different generation in the middle. So we have a 40s building, a 70s building, and a brand new building, and they're all going to be coordinated to blend together and look nice. And it's going to be a great piece for the city going forward.
Sure, the end result's going to be spectacular, state of the art. It's going to be, I'd venture to say, iconic for the city of Madison right here on the shores of Lake Mendota. But do you find, I mean, you can speak for the plumbers, is it challenging when you have to come into a structure like this, 1940s era building?
No, there is definitely more challenges working with the old. Everybody appreciates the history of things, but it does limit some of the options you have. You still have the old framework, can't have quite the modern size shape and rooms. So with the new structure, it's a lot more wide open to what you can do and fit stuff in, and it's just going to be more easy to modernize the new part than working with the old and the lower ceilings and everything else.
Now, to get to this stage, obviously, it took an awful lot, and there's a lot that people don't realize that was going on behind the scenes and still is.
Well, this project's been in the works for years trying to get approval. And a very unique thing about this developer, as part of their approval process and getting this project undergoing, was they put in place what's called the Community Workforce Agreement. And part of that agreement is we have targeted populations. We're trying to get more people from the community on the project. And it was part of the original agreement with the city to have that. The city pulled their public funding from it, but the developer's taken it upon himself to live up to his commitments of enacting Community Workforce Agreement, and all the construction trades and trade unions are working together to help meet those goals.
That's awesome to see a private developer keep his word, so to speak, and really for the better good of the community, because we're talking about putting local people to work, getting them involved. These people might not have another opportunity to get involved in the construction trades, and not only on this project, but as I understand it, as I've learned earlier in the show, really get their foot in the door in a good, solid career in the construction field.
That's true, Stu. And this project has goals of getting more and more people into the trade. And what we've done very recently, we've actually developed a new relationship with a group called WRTP Big Step, working with local CBOs called the START program and others that are going to help recruit those folks into this project and start their careers.
Well, it's going to be great for those folks, great for the community as a whole. Can we go over to that building and take a bird's eye view, look down in that big hole over there and see what your plumbers are up to?
I love to. I'm excited to see what they're up to as well.
Wow, Steve, this is a pretty spectacular hole in the ground. I can see some soil nailing to stabilize the soil over there. What is that concrete wall over there?
That's actually the foundation of the National Guardian Life building. And then the rest of the hole is the parking structure that's going to tie the 3 Edgewater buildings together, and it's also going to be tied together with NGL, and it'll be one big parking structure.
Wow, that's a great case in point of the partnership. Just one of them that was needed to create this project.
Yeah, this was a very crucial and intense development to get approved, and then now it's coming out of the ground and it's going really well, and it's great to see it all being coordinated.
Well, as I look down there, I don't see a whole lot of plumbing because it's getting buried already, but I do see some, looks like waste lines over there.
Yeah, well, we're at the very bottom of the project here, and it's under a parking structure. Not a lot of plumbing in there, but they got one of the first lower level floors poured now. There's some plumbing under there, be some electrical coming. So now we're just starting to come out of the ground. As it goes up, there'll be roof drains and other things on there. So the plumbing and all the other mechanicals will start to come in as we go.
Fair to say, plumbers are there at the beginning and there at the end.
Yep, from the sewers to setting fixtures in the bathrooms.
Well, you know, throughout today's show, we've been talking about the WRTP Big Step community workforce, trying to get people who otherwise didn't have the opportunity to get into the trades. And when I look at a project of this magnitude, it seems to me you really need this in order to get people into the trades that otherwise wouldn't have the opportunity to.
Well, this is a great project for getting into the trades. It's a big project, it's very complex. There's gonna be hundreds of construction workers on here. So we always try to recruit women and minorities into the trades, and hats off to the developer for actually having a workforce agreement for the project that has target goals and target populations. We're trying to recruit people into the trades so that we can keep skilled tradespeople in the pipeline.
When you think about getting new recruits into the trades, it costs money to do that. I mean, it's just not, hey, you on the street, come on in here and work. I mean, it takes money and time to train them properly.
Well, everybody here, from the developer to every subcontractor, to train apprentices, that's an important thing that's crucial to the construction industry. If we don't bring new people into the trades, the skill of our workforce will diminish. So responsible developers, contractors, and subcontractors understand that apprenticeship's the only way to keep them in business for the long haul. This is a super project that help accentuate the point of apprenticeship and bring new people into the trades.
And you bring up an excellent point there. We're not talking about just bringing people into the trades and, hey, go to work. I mean, it's really bringing them into the apprenticeship program so they can learn from the journey workers, learn from the coursework, learn from the different unions out there how to do it correctly.
Exactly. Most apprenticeships are 4 or 5 years, so this project will be done in a little over a year, but then they'll go on to another project, and they may work in another project in the city, or they may go to work somewhere else. For me and everybody on this job site, we love it. This is our Disneyland, coming to work every day.
And you know, from what I've learned today, it really makes sense, and projects like this, something the community can be proud of. Thanks a lot for coming on.
My pleasure, Stu.
Stick around. We'll continue with our construction tour of the Edgewater Hotel project next, when we continue with today's Home Remodeler. Earlier in today's show, we learned about the WRTP Big Step training program and how they can help those looking for a job or a career in the skilled trades. We also heard how the Edgewater Hotel project, working with WRTP Big Step, established a workforce agreement that provides assistance for local target populations who are interested in the building trades. Now let's continue our Edgewater construction tour with Bob Caston from the Hammes Company. Wow, Bob, here's the view that the Edgewater's all about. You know, a lot of people in the community were concerned that the view might go away, but actually with this plan and this construction project, you're enhancing it with this plaza right here, aren't you?
Yes, sir, we sure are. We've took off 26 feet of the existing building to open up the lakefront. So you can see from the Capitol on down right into the lake.
Now this plaza that we're talking about, it's actually a public plaza.
That's correct.
And what's going to be involved in it?
Well, there'll be a ratskeller underneath where you can grab a burger or a brat or a beer during the summer, during the fall, during the home football games or whatever the case may be. And in the winter, it'll be an ice skating rink.
Get out of here. Is that going to be nice? And the public can use the ice skating rink
then
as well?
That's correct. And you can rent skates as well.
Oh, boy, you guys have really thought of everything. Okay, so the plaza is going to be situated between the old and the new. Let's just look at the new here. You mentioned that there's a ballroom down here. Maybe we could just kind of walk through each of these levels. What's going to be on each?
Great. First over here is the guest registration. That's right in this area here.
Okay.
The next level is the grand ballroom. And the grand ballroom is about 6,200 square feet.
Boy, beautiful view looking out over the lake for any event that you're hosting.
Absolutely. And then the next level is the 7th floor. That's our public restaurant and lounge. And that also overlooks the lake.
Boy, that's going to be nice. It's going to be quite a large facility, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Boy, so lots of patrons can enjoy their dinners or social time in the restaurant. And then up above, you said you're working on the 14th floor right now. It looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 guest rooms levels?
Yes, there are. And then there's 2 floors of condominiums as well.
Really? I wasn't aware of that.
The total of all 3 buildings is 202 guest rooms.
Okay, well, like we said, this is coming along nicely. That takes care of the new area. Let's go over to the old and see how you're blending the two together.
Let's do it.
Oh, Bob, this is what the Edgewater's really all about. I remember many nights out here, nice summer evening, sitting on the deck. I remember there was a bar down here, and speaking for myself and a lot of my friends, it was a good time, and it's going to be that way once this is done. So now that we're down at lake level, you get a totally different perspective. Let's talk about blending the old and the new.
As you can see, we've completely restored the 1948 building. We've been very successful in blending new brick in with the old brick.
Oh yeah, that looks really nice.
They've done a nice job, and it's a craft. Now, if you look at the 70s building, the brick there is to blend in with the original brick.
You know, if you didn't tell me that, I would have thought that was the old brick, just in better condition. I mean, it looks like a perfect match.
It is. It looks great. It really does. The other thing, if you look at the windows there, the windows used to be real small. Now they've opened them all the way up, so you have a better view of the lake from the guest rooms.
And why not? I mean, that's the draw to this particular location, is its proximity to the lake. Let's enjoy the view. So I really like what you guys have been doing with the plan and how it makes it more conducive to a modern hotel, modern lodging. And the beauty of it is the general public can come on the plaza, enjoy it. I assume they're going to be able to come down here, enjoy a cold beer, sit on the deck. It's just going to be fantastic.
It will be.
Well, I know with the project of this magnitude, and especially the Edgewater project itself, there were a lot of partners involved to get it to this stage.
Boy, it's been a challenge, but you know what? It'll be well worth it. We've got a great relationship with the city, with the building trades. Hammes Company has done everything possible. We've lived up to all of the expectations of the city, and we'll look forward to a great relationship, not only with the building trades, the guests, the public, everybody involved in the community.
Well, I appreciate you coming on today and walking us through the construction process. How long until it's open?
Well, we're scheduled for mid-August 2014, so we will be ready right on time.
Well, Bob, it's been great having you on today's show and giving us a behind-the-scenes look at the construction process.
It's been my pleasure, Stu.
Now here are some key points to help summarize today's show. If you or somebody you know is considering a career in the skilled trades and would like some assistance with training and finding a job, contact the Wisconsin Regional Training Partnership Big Step program. Next, iconic building projects like the Edgewater Hotel can be the perfect launch pads for young adults interested in a career in construction. And when the developer, the building trades, and the community are all committed to workforce initiatives, opportunities arise and we all grow together. Finally, congratulations to everyone who made the Edgewater Hotel project possible. Working together, listening to different groups, and finding a way to say yes made it possible for Madison's guests to once again enjoy our most famous hotel on the lake.
Well, we're all out of time for this week's show. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you again next time on Today's Home Remodeler.
For more information about today's topic and upcoming episodes of Today's Home Remodeler, please visit these websites. The preceding program was sponsored by the Today's Home Remodeler television network.